Welcome to Weiss Software's VisualCAM video series. In this video, you will learn all about working with item-level polarity and composite layers. First of all, let's begin with the definition of item-level polarity versus composite layers. Item-level polarity allows you to have items of different polarity on a single standard layer. A composite is a single layer which is made up of a set of positive, dark, and negative, clear layers. Note that when using item-level polarity, it is not necessary to set up composite layers. I'm going to go over item-level polarity first. If you have multiple items on which you want to change the polarity, go to the Edit menu and choose the Decode Polarity command, or click on the Change Polarity button on the Edit Buttons toolbar. In the Polarity dialog, set the polarity to dark or clear and then click on the OK button. Then go to the Select filter to choose the appropriate settings for your selection. I will choose Window Mode. You can also limit the selection to a particular type, decode, layer, or polarity. Window around the data, and you will instantly see the item's polarity changed. You can also change the polarity on any item by right-clicking on the item and choose from Dark, Clear, or Bring to Front. Now on to more detail on composite layers. An example of using composites would be to route traces on power planes. The first layer is dark. A second clear layer is used to create a clearance path for the trace. And then a dark trace layer is used to make the connections. By allowing the use of black and white for layer colors, VisualCAM allows accurate viewing of composite power and ground layers. Setting the negative layer to white and the positive layers to black will result in a very realistic depiction of the final film. For accurate viewing and editing, it is important that the layers be placed in the proper order in the layer list. Also, make sure the appropriate layer is active. In this example, if the first dark layer is active, you will not see the other two composite layers underneath. The layers that are contained in composites may be edited as you would any other layers, using the standard VisualCAM edit commands. In many instances, both the standard menu commands and the navigator can be used to view and manipulate composites. Both methods will be explained, so that you may choose whichever works best for you. Before we go on, it is important to note that standard 274D format does not support composite layers or item-level polarity. To properly export a composite or layers that contain a combination of positive and negative data, you must use 274X. Otherwise, you will need to flatten your data using the Tools, Convert, Composite to Layer command, which I will describe shortly. So let's look at the different ways to add, view, and manipulate composite layers. First of all, if the layer you wish to add to the composite does not already exist, add a new layer to the design. Use the menus and choose the Setup Layers command, or click on the Setup Layers button on the toolbar to open the Layer Setup dialog. In the dialog box, scroll down to find a new empty layer. Assign it a name and the composite layer type. Click on the OK button to continue. Use the menus again and choose the Setup Composites command, or click on the Setup Composite Layers button on the toolbar. In the Composite Setup dialog box, the composite list on the left shows any currently loaded composites and the layers contained within them. Click the New Composite button and a new composite with the system default name is created. To add a layer to a composite, click and drag the desired layer from the layer list to the composite list. To remove a layer from a composite, drag the layer back to the layer list. To change layer polarity, right-click on a layer within a composite to select a different polarity. Polarity of dark means that the layer is to be displayed in the style a normal layer is displayed. Clear tells VisualCAM to display the layer using the current background color. This has the effect of erasing or clearing areas from an image that were previously drawn by a dark layer. Negative layers should be set to clear. Click on the OK button to add the new composite layer to the design. Another way to add layers and composites is to use the navigator. First, right-click on the Layers heading. In the Shortcut menu, select the Add Layer command. In the Add New Layer dialog, enter the new layer's name and use the drop-down list to choose the composite type. Click on the OK button to continue. Next, right-click on the Composites heading and choose Add Composite in the Shortcut menu. A new composite with a system default name will appear in the Composites list. To see it, click on the plus sign next to the Composites heading to expand the list. Back in the Layers list, click on the layer you want to add to the composite. While still holding down your mouse button, drag and drop the layer into the composite. To see the new composite layer, expand the list. Note that if a layer already resides in a composite, it cannot also be added to another one. To change the visibility of the composite, right-click on it and toggle the visibility on. A check mark next to the Visible command indicates the layers are visible in the workspace. To hide the layers, remove the check mark. Composite layers may also be displayed by simply pressing the V hotkey, Shift-V, while the menu is invoked. This nested command toggles composite viewing on and off. To change the polarity of a layer, right-click on the layer in the Composites list and choose Dark or Clear. To remove a layer from a composite, go back to the Composite Setup dialog by using the Setup Composites menu command or the Setup Composites toolbar button. In the dialog box, drag the layer out of the composite back to the layer list. Or, in the navigator, right-click on the desired layer and select the Remove command. This does not delete the actual layer in the database, it just removes the layer from the composite. To delete layers, go back to the Layers area of the navigator and delete them from there. To delete a composite, go to the Composite Setup dialog box by using the Setup Composites menu command or the Setup Composites toolbar button. In the Composite list, select the composite you wish to delete and click on the Delete Composite button. This command does not delete any data or remove any data layers. Only the association to other layers is removed. To delete layers, use the Setup Layers command or the navigator. To use the navigator to delete a composite, right-click on the desired composite in the list. In the Shortcut menu, select the Remove command, and the composite is immediately deleted. You can also click on the composite and press the Delete key on your keyboard to remove it. Again, if you are exporting to 274x, then you do not need to flatten your composites or item level polarity, as composites are supported in this format. If you are exporting to a format that does not support composites, you will need to flatten your data. There are two ways to convert or flatten a composite to a single layer. The first is to use the menu commands and select Tools, Convert, Composite to Layer. In the Composite to Layer dialog, select the source composite and the empty destination layer. Click on the OK button to complete the process. The second method is to use the navigator. In the composite list, right-click on the desired composite and select the Convert to Layer command from the Shortcut menu. The composite is immediately converted and is placed on the first available empty layer of your design. To export your composite data, just like you would any other Gerber data, use the File, Export, Gerber menu command. Select the destination folder where you want to save the file by clicking on the Browse button. Then click on the Format button. Change the dialect section to 274x. To print the composite data, simply use the File Print command. This completes the Working with Composites and Item Level Polarity video in Weiss Software's VisualCAM video series.